Hi friends! So this is a little bit different than the live reading. I had to edit some of the live readings together and to create something different. So if you are Scorpio, might be a little bit cut off. Hopefully I got those filmed. My apologies for the internet connection messing up the live this week, but this video will form a replacement. I should have everybody's sign here. So go ahead and check in the description section for your sun, moon, and rising signs. All three will give you a good triangulation of the week. Also, please check out the collective reading at the end as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. Go to the description section now to find a link to where in the reading is your pile, and I will hopefully have hobbled together something that will work as a video for what we can all expect this week. Thank you so much for your patience. My apologies for that. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Good luck on the week, everybody. Love ya. Aries, what can my Aries signs expect for the week ahead? Let's find out together. All right, Aries, let's start out with the first one. You have the Chariot. So this week is going to be swift, fast-moving action, and you're being encouraged to use that momentum and that energy to push you forward this week. I'm feeling it for myself. I think that there's a real momentum happening in the world right now, and that's the kind of energy that you can take and channel into your own personal life. So you're being encouraged to do that this week. So take some time to really think about what it is you want, what places you're in life, and how can you adjust where you're moving from to put yourself in a position where you're moving in the directions that you want, because there's a lot of energy and momentum for you. And so it's up to you to really push that forward for yourself. We have the Seven of Wands. So this is giving you a lot of opportunity in life as well. There's a moment here for you this week where you're giving yourself the time and the energy to create for yourself whatever you want. And so with that opportunity, there's a moment of coming out of struggle as well. So this card can indicate needing to open yourself up to letting go of the fight a little bit, right? That you're starting to finally overcome some of those battles that you've been going through. This is still being in the battle with the Seven of Wands, but it's giving yourself the next level. It's putting yourself above and beyond. It's saying, I'm ready to break out of this fight, fight, fight energy and move into a place where I'm a little bit more comfortable. I'm not pushing so hard. I'm moving into a reality where I'm not forcing myself to do things I don't want to do, but I'm open to the possibilities. All right, so next up, you have the Four of Pentacles. So with this card, there's a moment here for you where you're really breaking out of some of the past things that you've been stuck in, and you're giving yourself an opportunity to really open up to something new and something different. So this card can indicate like safety, making sure that you are safe. And there's an opportunity in this moment, I think, for you to really remind yourself that you are safe here in this moment, that you are able to give yourself a sense of balance and maybe not struggle as hard as you think you need to. This card can talk about that. It can talk about playing it a little too safe sometimes too. So keep that in mind as well. Where in your life are you playing things a little bit too safe? And where can you become a little bit more daring? Where can you put yourself out there on a deeper level where you can be more open-minded to the things that want to come into your life instead of forcing yourself into a position where you can't do things or you're not comfortable with where you are? Finally, you have the Four of Swords, which talks about rest. So there's a real need to make sure that you're getting rest as well. I think it's because this momentum is so intense for you, Aries, this rest card is coming in to remind you that this is an important moment for you to not push it too hard as well. So as much as you are ready and willing and open to rush out to the next place and put yourself out there on the next level, moving into a new direction, there is an importance as well of making sure that you're getting enough sleep and enough rest in that time as well. So if you're pushing really hard, that's going to use a lot of energy. So just make sure that you're putting yourself in a position where even if you're pushing so hard, you can come out of that on the other end, right? So there's an importance in that. Okay, Taurus, sun, moon, and rising signs. What do you have going on this week? Well, for you, this is going to be an important week of balance and making sure that you are in the right kind of balance for your own life. Are you taking the steps to put yourself out there when you need to and do the actions that you need? And then are you taking the steps to take steps back and give yourself the rest that you need in the moment as well? So this is asking for you to juggle the different forces going on in your life in a way where you are feeling comfortable, right? And you're not pushing too hard, but you're not going back too much either, right? That you're getting the right amount of expression outward and internal reflection. It's a good week for having both. You have the Queen of Pentacles. So she's very giving, very sharing, and she's overly abundant. So she has this incredible amount of abundance that she's able to give to others as well. So is there any areas in your life that you are really abundant? And remember, abundance isn't just money. It's stability, it's health, it's feeling overflowing. Like, so where are you overflowing in your life and where can you give back to others around you? I think you're going to be feeling really abundant and secure this week in certain places. And so how can you take that security and pay it forward a little bit? How can you, and obviously anytime that I say anything like that, there's an importance in remembering that you do need to make sure that you're secure first before you put your energy out there to others too. So just make sure that that's the case. But with the Queen of Pentacles, she usually is, in fact, quite secure in many areas. And she's able to give that out a little bit more and really help people and put herself out there on that level. So there's a real opportunity for you to be able to do that this week. So tune into that energy. As well, you have the Knight of Wands. So for me, I always interpret the Knights as the movement in the reading. Where is movement and change happening here? And for you, that movement is in the wands. So with the wands, this is a powerful energy towards passions and dreams and manifestation and creation. And so there's a real opportunity for you to do some creative work this week and let that creativity flow. So I think that you're really being encouraged to do that this week as well. Make sure that you are giving yourself those opportunities as you're balancing your life here, right? That you're giving yourself opportunities to let things come to you, because a lot of times that night's energy, that creativity energy, is a receptive. As much as it's putting it out there and doing, there has to be a level of receiving involved in it as well. And so there is a necessity in this moment to allow yourself to receive the gifts that the universe wants to give you, right? That creative force of the universe coming into you and you taking and channeling that out into the world. There's an opportunity for you to be able to do that in that reciprocal nature. And that might be a part of where you're able to give back, right? That abundant energy that you give back might be in a creative force. It might be creative energy that you can put out there into the world. And you're being encouraged to that. Finally, you have the Ten of Cups, which is ultimate happiness. So there's a sense that this week is going to be, there's going to be a lot of joys this week. So find them, even if they're small joys. Allow yourself to do that. There was 1113 on the clock, so 333, 111. A lot of that kind of energy going on here. So there's that's some angel numbers energy. You can look that up if you want to, but there's a real opportunity for you to bring joy into your life this week. So where can you allow it in? How can you allow joy and peace and love into your life this week? And it might be more important this week than other weeks, right? So as things outside of you might seem shaky or difficult, this is an excellent opportunity for you to bring some peace and joy and kindness into your life as well. So Taurus, sun, moon, and rising signs. That was my reading for you. If you like that, let me know in the comments. And please be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All three will give you the information that you need for the week. All right, Gemini, sun, moon, and rising signs. What's going on for you? Well, this might be a powerful week for you because you had a lot of major arcana this week. So let's take a look at these two together. You have the Ace of Pentacles and you have the Death card. So the Death card can seem scary, right? I mean, look at this, a skeleton. And change is scary. Death signifies change, and it talks about some pretty deep change. It can be internal transformation energy. It can also just mean big things moving in your life and you're ready to move. A lot of times, the Death card comes at a moment when change is happening and you're putting yourself into that change, right? So it's sort of an inevitable thing. And I think that that's part, but as everything ends, new things can begin as well. And with that Ace of Pentacles, this is a beautiful opportunity for you to bring in stability, abundance, creativity, the world, physical, new health routines, new physical places, moving to new places. This is an opportunity for you to let in something brand new into your life as well. So let go of the things that are ready to go this week. I think that's going to be a big lesson for you. And be okay with that. Be okay with any habits that want to leave, with any situations that want to leave. If you're ready to change jobs or move houses or do something, right? Embrace the change energy that's here for you, because I think if you try to dig your heels in and just stick to what you've been doing, you might not find that being able to work anymore. So embrace the changes that's coming, because there's a new beginning for you here and a new opportunity for you to bring something different into your life. So you're being encouraged to really embrace that. Now, this new beginning is coming from the Justice card here. So with Justice, this is an opportunity for you to receive some of the energy back that you've been putting into something. And it might be in something different, right? Justice can talk about it can talk about real justice, right? So some people might be going through some kind of legal situation. It's not always the case with this card, but it does mean that, right? But also, though, with justice, it can mean the larger karmic cycles of life. So the work that you put in, what you put in into the world, what you put out into the world can come back to you. And that can be in many different ways, right? So with karma, it's sort of like what you do, you get back. And that can be positive, that can be negative. The universe reflects you as you move through life. And so you're having some reflective moments, I think, this week as things end, as a new beginning pops up for you. It's reflective of what you've been doing and the work that you've been moving through. And so there is a necessity for you to kind of embrace that. Embrace this opportunity for change, embrace this opportunity to do something different, to move in a new way, to put yourself out there in a different fashion. This is time for that. You have finally, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs, you have the Temperance card. So with Temperance, this is asking you to make lemonade out of the lemons that life throws you. This is about combining different forces together. You see, you look at this angel card, she's mixing these two things together to create something new. And a lot of times it can talk about how we might think that things are stuck in one way, but there is a way to think about things differently, to change things, to mix things together, to mix things up that will create something completely different that might be far more positive. And a lot of times this is a positive card with that temperance energy. It's about combining forces to create something new in a way that might be far more positive than you think, and might change your situation in a way that's much more impactful than what you might expect to have happen. So you are being encouraged to do that work, to allow that to happen, to let this change in. And even if it's an uncomfortable ending, it's bringing in a new beginning that's needed and necessary and positive for you in the long run. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs, that was my reading for you. We are going to move on now to Cancer. Okay, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. What can you expect this week? Well, you got the Three of Cups. So, this is an excellent opportunity this week to meet with your friends, to combine with your like minded people and celebrate, have a good time. This is a great moment for you to explore your own energy, have a great time, do what you want to do, have fun, make sure that you get that time, right? This is a great time to meet with your loved ones and do something exciting and celebratory. So do that. Joy, have joy this week, and let that joy in. When you're feeling excited, you're feeling like some joyful things are happening here. Let yourself embrace it and enjoy all that you can. You've got the Six of Cups here. With the Six of Cups energy, this is about real peace, of like happiness, happy memories from your past. So this is a great moment too of enjoying the childlike aspects. With the celebratory, these two together, this might be like doing something your inner child would love to do. Maybe to go out and go to an amusement park, something like that. That kind of energy is coming in for you this week, Cancer. So embrace that. It could be as well, actually, if you have any children in your life, this is a great time to do something fun with them this week. And as well, let yourself have just a childlike happiness and joys. I think sometimes it's so important to just let ourselves be our inner child for a moment and not have to be so overwhelmed with the adulting energy. So give yourself an opportunity for that. It's really important here. Now, you also have the Eight of Cups, which is walking away and moving on. And that is some big energy that's been coming in here. So with this Eight of Cups, it's a real opportunity for you to let some things go this week as well. And that's been a big theme for the collective so far in these readings. So if you're ready to walk away from something and move on from something, let yourself do that. Be in that happiness energy. Maybe it's walking away from the overtly serious situations that go on in life. So being open and okay with walking away from that kind of thing and moving into something positive. Finally, we have the Chariot card, and the Chariot card came up a lot for some other piles. So with the Chariot card, this is about being okay with marching forward into something new, letting the energy push you forward. With that Chariot energy, this is about pushing yourself forward, riding the momentum into the sunset energy. So let yourself do that this week. So Cancer, this seems like an excellent week for you. There's a lot of happiness and a lot of joy and positivity and possibilities. So really embrace that. Let yourself embrace that this week. Okay, so Leo, sun, moon, and rising signs, what can you expect this week? Well, you've got the moon, Leo. So I think that as you move forward with your life this week, you might not see everything that's happening. And so that's kind of important to keep in mind that it's okay to not know what's coming up. As long as you have a general idea of what direction you want to move in your life, that can be enough sometimes. And at the same time, knowing what your next step is. So you don't need to know everything to get you to your goal, but this is a card that's encouraging you to really take that one step at a time, know what your next step is, and not be afraid to just keep taking one step at a time. As long as you can see what your foot in front of you is showing you, that's what's important to follow. Now, the thing about this moon card as well is that it can talk about actual moon cycles. So you might want to pay attention to the moon this week. I'm not I go back and forth with paying attention to where the moon is right now. I'm not entirely sure what the moon is in this week, but this might be something to keep in mind. If we are in a new moon or a full moon, both of those can be really useful. Full moon was just in Leo. Right. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Kristen. You're right. It was. We had a full moon in Leo, and here we are in Leo moon. So, very important moon energy that just happened for you. And so, if you've been feeling lately, because it's a full moon, that's all about releasing energy. That's letting things go, and so, with that energy, you might be feeling really compelled to continue to let things out of your life, and that's been going on for all of these piles right now. So, if that's the case, if things are leaving your life right now, let them move on, right? Let yourself let things go because that's going to give you an opportunity to really let things come back in again. And so we've got it's a two weeks cycle. So since we just had that, I'd say about a week and a half. So this is a great energy point to start preparing for this. In about a week and a half, we will have the new moon. So this is a great time. New moons are all about letting things in. So let things go this week. And yeah, especially this week, so that you can prepare yourself to be an open slate to allow new things in as when the new moon comes in about a week and a half. So taking that time would be really helpful and important for you of really letting things go. Kristen says, I've been literally spring cleaning, no jokes. Yeah, absolutely. This is totally spring cleaning energy going on with those full moons. It can be, and it's internal spring cleaning too. If there's things in you, like you get any kind of difficult, especially if the last few days, if you've been having any kind of like emotional difficulty, those things are coming up because they're things that you're ready to let go and release so you can move forward. Right? So be open to that. Now, with the Empress card, this is an opportunity for you to allow real creativity in your life. She's a very, very creative card. She's usually depicted as a pregnant person, a pregnant woman. And so, because of that, this is an opportunity for birthing something new into the world. So, there is a moment for you in this time to let yourself birth something new into the world. And that's, I think, a part of as you're letting things go, as you're creating that next step energy, you're bringing something new into the world. She's also about having ideas first, right? So this is receiving those ideas. That's come in a bunch this week as well. Being receptive to the new ideas so that once the new moment is time, it's you're ready to go. You're ready to put this actions into place and move forward from that. So there's a real opportunity for creativity and allowing in positive, joyous, creative flow into your workforce as you move forward. Now we have the Page of Cups here. So the Page of Cups, he is all about being open to his creative self in a lot of ways. And so, with that Page of Cups energy, this is a moment for you to allow in. He's not just creative, but it's interesting that that's what's popping into my head. So, the creative flow, sometimes Cups can talk about that being in the emotional flow. It's usually the emotional sphere, but it talks about flowing. And with the page, this is about learning new things. So, this might be an opportunity, as we do this creative work, because I do think this is a very creative week for you. This might be an opportunity for you to learn what your flow is, being in your own personal flow and learning what that means. It will look different than other people. So yes, you can look at inspiration and ideas from others, but ultimately you have to learn how you work, and how you work is not going to be the same as how somebody else works. And so don't like force yourself to fit into some mold of somebody else. Be in your own creative expression this week. The more that you can be in that energy, the more that you'll be able to move forward from that place in a really positive direction. So open yourself up to that. Finally, we have the Six of Cups, which is happy memories from the past, that childlike energy, embracing your inner child. This came up for Cancer as well. So be open to that this week too, of being in that silliness energy, that happy energy, the happy vibes, being your inner child. What would your inner child love to do? And maybe take an afternoon to do that. Go to an amusement park, go get ice cream, go do something silly, go outside and run around. What is something that your inner child wants to do this week, and just embrace that. Put that out there. Be in that energy. I think if you could do that this week, I think you'll be feeling a lot happier on the other end. So anyway, Leo, that was my reading for you. I hope you have an excellent week ahead. We're going to move on. Please do check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All three will be helpful in triangulating the week ahead for you. Okay, Virgo, sun, moon, and rising signs. What can you expect this week? Well, you have a new beginning energy as well. That seems to be the theme here. Walking away and getting something new. I definitely think we have some beautiful brand new energy coming in this week. So really embrace that. For you, this is the Ace of Wands. So it's an opportunity for you to bring in real inspiration, taking inspired action. I think this week you're going to feel real inspiration. You're going to feel a renewed sense of fire to move forward and passion. And so that can come from many places. It can come from taking in, like feeling like, wow, this is amazing, or it can be, oh my gosh, I need to change this. I need to do this right now. I'm feeling that momentum, that energy, that drive. So I think for my Virgos, you're going to be feeling that energy. You're going to feel it really intensely. So ride it, use it, channel that momentum, push yourself forward. There's a lot of momentum for the collective this week. I'm feeling that. So ride that energy. It's pushing you in the positive directions for yourself. So what does that mean to you? How can you allow that into your life more to push yourself forward? We have the Four of Pentacles here. So Four of Pentacles can talk about safety. So there's a reassurance here that there is safety for you here this week. If you feel a little bit unstable or a little bit on shaky ground, try to tune into that energy, because there's safety present for you. Where is it? Find it. It's possible for you to feel safer. So that's there, first of all. But second, this can talk about playing it too safe. So maybe you've been holding yourself back out of fear. And so this inspiration, this renewed spark is going to push you in the direction of embracing, putting yourself out there on that level and pushing past the fear. So I think that there is an importance of pushing past that fear energy as well, that might be holding you from moving forward. That, like, you can use the fire of this new renewed inspiration to push you in that new direction and not feel like you can't move forward, right? That you're Don't let the paralysis of fear keep you from moving in those positive directions, because they're here for you. It's time for you to embrace that. So really, really, really open yourself yourself up to that energy. You have to earn it. So there's a sense too that this might be about doing things on your own, going it on your own. And that might be a fear that you have of being alone. But this is a moment for it. So if you feel like you feel inspired to take action and do something, but you're worried that nobody's going to be joining you on that, I mean, obviously, if you're responsible for somebody, I'm not saying walk away from them, obviously, but where are there opportunities and actions for you to move on your own to do your own thing, and that maybe by doing your own thing, you putting yourself in the places that you need to be this week to feel comfortable, to feel possible, and that is could be really helpful for you in the long run. So going it on your own, doing it by yourself, not feeling obligated to do things the way that other people do it, taking your own time to do your own thing. That's going to be very, very important for you this week in feeling more secure, feeling more comfortable. And that might help you feel safer too, of letting go of the need to impress anybody or do something in somebody else's way or fulfill somebody else's dream. This week is going to be about your dreams. What do you want? What is your passion putting you in the direction of? Let yourself flow in that direction. You have the Four of Wands, which is a homecoming card. And I think that's exactly what's happening for you, Virgo. This is about coming home to yourself this week. This is about being in your own power and your own energy and letting yourself do that, letting yourself be yourself, not being afraid to do the things you need to do for yourself, knowing what that is, and not letting anybody else tell you you can't or you shouldn't or you won't. This is an opportunity for you to really put yourself in that direction so that once you're out there, you're feeling really secure, you're feeling really positive, and you're not feeling like you don't know what to do or things aren't working for you, right? So there's a real opportunity for you to work in that positive direction. So tune into that. It's here. Finally, you have the Temperance card, which came out for Gemini as well. With that Temperance energy, this is about understanding that sometimes life puts us in places that we don't like or are uncomfortable, but those places might be exactly what we need to have the positive momentum to move forward. So, what are some things in your life that you don't like? How can you look at those things in a slightly different way and take them and change them into something that's positive for you, that works for you? This is about looking at things from outside of the box and realizing what you do have control and power over and taking back your power and moving forward from that, letting yourself do the things you know you need to do and pushing yourself in that positive direction so that you can move forward from a place of comfortability, of not feeling like you can't do things, but taking it back, and if there's anything that's blocking you or that's telling you no, this is about taking your own power back and saying, well, actually, I'm going to do this instead. Okay, well, you saying no here, well, I'm going to shift it and do this instead, right? This is about taking those lemons that life throws you and really transforming them into something that works for you, because there's an ability to do that. And yes, it's kind of stupid sometimes that we have to do that, but instead of thinking that things are impossible, that's going to always keep you back. Thinking that, always knowing that there's a possibility to move forward, even if it's not something that is apparent from eye to eye, just knowing that there's a possibility and that you can do it and that you will do it, right? And moving forward from that place will help you transform where you are into a place where you can actually create, you can do, you can put yourself forward. Okay, so what can my Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs expect for this week? Well, you got the Fool, Libra. So once again, the common theme this week is about new beginnings. We're all in something new. For you, this is the primordial new beginning energy. The Fool is the first step, right? This is the first card in the tarot. This is card number one. This is how everything begins. It is that primordial beginnings energy, and so you're entering into a period right now this week for my Libras of total opportunity, total possibility of moving forward. Now, this card sometimes in this deck, it's not depicted this way, but in a lot of decks, it's someone who's about to walk off a cliff. So sometimes when we go at the beginning of something, we can imagine what will happen, but we have no idea what's to come. And that can be good, that can be bad, that can be whatever. It doesn't have to be good or bad. It just is. So just keep that in mind. This is an excellent week for moving forward, putting yourself forward, doing something new, embracing change, embracing a new beginning. But just know that this is a journey that you're about to walk on. This isn't necessarily something that's going to be completed tomorrow. As you step forward on this new journey, you'll have twists, you'll have turns, things will be up, things will be down. There's an entire primordial story going on. Think about a novel. A novel has a whole giant journey that it moves through, and you're about to do that for yourself. So for my Libras, this is about taking the next steps on a brand new journey. This is new possibilities, this is new energy, and everything that comes with that is a new story. So you have an opportunity for a new story for you, which is really positive. Personally, I think that that's always really positive, but you don't know what tale you're about to tell. So that can be exciting, it can be challenging, it can be a little nerve-wracking, and that's great, right? So really embrace that energy, because that might help you moving forward. You have the Seven of Swords. So with that card, this is about moving. This could talk about, it's interesting. It can talk about deceit sometimes. It can talk about not understanding where everybody's coming from. And so I do think, a part of maybe this new beginnings energy, I do feel a little bit of that. I don't know if you know everything that's coming up ahead, and that can be okay, but that's something you embrace. So maybe you've been thinking about maybe this new beginning, this new journey for you, this new step that you're taking is something you know a lot about, but maybe you're making some assumptions right now about how things are going to go. I think that it's not necessarily a warning, but it's just something to keep in mind, that maybe you don't know everything coming up ahead, and just keep that in mind. Now, that, like I said, this isn't good, this isn't bad, this is just is, right? So as you move forward, try to remember that not everything is set in stone. And because of that, that gives you a lot of opportunities. And so if you're thinking about things from a closed-minded perspective, this is encouraging you to open your mind a little bit. Now, it can also mean you don't know everything going on with everybody and everybody's situation around you. Sometimes that's the case too. People might not be telling you the truth completely in a situation. So as you move forward, as you move through this new beginning, just keep that in mind as well. This, like I said, this isn't about being paranoid. This isn't about being afraid of anybody or any situation. That's not helpful. But just understanding that everybody's coming from their own place, and that you might not know everything that somebody's doing. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising signs, you're in a new beginning moment. So with that new beginning here, the Page of Swords, this is an opportunity for you to create something different for yourself. And this is about learning how to think about things differently. This is a new moment to think about things from a new perspective. So how can you do that for yourself? How can you think about life and the universe from a new place, a new perspective, so that as you move forward, you're in a really positive way this week. So this is about changing your opinion. It's about learning something new. You could be picking up a new skill, or going to school in some way, learning something different, learning something new. So with that opportunity to learn and change your mind and your opinion, what can you do with that? What can you do with learning from a different place and pushing yourself forward from that? We have the Ten of Wands. So I think as you're learning new things, I think one of the biggest things that you're learning about is how to not push yourself too hard. This is about carrying too many burdens and learning how to put those burdens down. So there's a real opportunity this week for you to put down any kind of challenging burdens that might be hard for you, and move yourself forward from a place of more comfortability. How can you become more comfortable with who you are and what's going on, and be less pushy? Push yourself less, push yourself, not pushing yourself from such a challenging place, but being more open-minded to being in a positive direction. So Scorpio, you have the moon as well, which I think Virgo or Leo had, I can't remember. But with the moon card, this is not necessarily seeing all of the things ahead of you. And so if that's the case, if you don't quite see all of what's happening in front of you, that's okay. The most important thing is to take things one step at a time. And as long as you can see what your next step forward is, that's the most important thing. So just take life one step at a time. If you have your direction, channel yourself in the right direction and just take that first step. That's all that you're being asked to do. And so if you feel a little bit challenged, you feel a little bit like you don't know how to move, you're a little bit concerned, just take it one step at a time. One tiny step moving forward can be enough to push you in the right direction. So be open to that. Be open to moving one place at a time, one step at a time. Finally, You have the Eight of Cups, which is walking away, and this one's come up a bunch too. So I think as much as you have this new beginning energy coming on with a new perspective, it's coming from letting go of the other things, the things that aren't working. And particularly with that burdens card, you are being concerned to let go of whatever burdens might be holding you back and push yourself forward from a new positive plane, a new positive place. So let yourself move a little bit at a time here with that Eight of Cups and let go of the things that you're ready to let go of. Don't be afraid to walk away and move on from any type of challenge that might be pushing you in a difficult place, and put yourself in the direction that's new, that's something different, that's learning something different, that's seeing things differently, that's learning how to think about things differently. All of those types of things can be really helpful and important for you moving forward. Okay, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. What can you expect for this week? Well, first of all, let's address it first. You have the Hanged Man, which can feel stuck sometimes. This is about being in a stuck energy and not being able to move forward from that. But the thing about this card in particular is this is stuck, but it's done on purpose, right? He's upside down to gain spiritual wisdom. So what can you learn from feeling this stuck energy? There's some lesson here for you in this moment from this place of feeling like you don't know how to move forward. So what lesson can be gained here? That's what's the most important. How can you allow yourself to learn as much as you can from these things that have been blocking you to help you move forward? Because I do think that there's some lessons to be learned here. You are the magician, first of all. And that's the most important thing to keep in mind. With the Magician card, you control all of the forces of air, earth, water, and fire. All of them are at your disposal to move and transform your life into whatever direction you need it to go. So keep that in mind. With this card, this is an opportunity to let things flow in a positive direction and move yourself out of where you've been and into something different, moving on from the challenges and the difficulties to put yourself in a positive plane. This is an opportunity for that. So what can you do to give yourself that power? So you don't have to be as stuck as maybe you think that you are. In fact, you have the opportunity to move forward from a positive plane. So what is that? Where can you find that? Well, you have the Four of Cups here, which is talking about connecting in with those that you love. So with that Four of Cups energy is encouraging you to listen to yourself here in this moment. What can you do to move yourself in a more positive direction? And sometimes too, with that Four of Cups, it's about not really seeing all of the actual opportunities that are at your disposal. So what are some things that the universe is trying to give you? What gifts are the universe trying to give you that you're not able to see? And how can you allow yourself to open up to that and to let in new positive things so that you can be in a more positive direction? So you're being encouraged to try to do that a little bit. To let yourself know. I think that where you're feeling stuck this week, Sagittarius, might be from assumptions that aren't necessarily true. So this is about learning how to wield that magician's power with this Page of Wands, learning how to do it. You're not going to know how to do it right away, and that's okay, right? What can you do to change your perspective to be able to open up to something more positive, to do something differently so that you can move in a positive direction? Finally, you have the Three of Cups. So this is a great moment and opportunity for you to connect in with loved ones. How can you connect in with those that you love to be in a more positive place this week as well? So how can you tune in with the people that you love, your loved ones, and go out and celebrate, have a good time? So opening yourself up to that energy too could be really helpful for you in this moment. All right, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. What do you need to know right now? Well, you have happiness available to you. This is about ultimate happiness here. So there's an opportunity for you this week to really tune into that deep happiness energy. How can you tune into the joys of life and be present in those joys and let those move you forward. There's an opportunity for you to do that here, so really open yourself up to that. How can you allow in joy and happiness and possibilities, positivity, all of those things into your life? This is a time and a place and a moment for you to be able to do that. So really let that in. If that's where you're at, put it into life, put it into your moments, let yourself feel good about where you're at, what's going on. This is the time and the place for that. So that's great. You have real joys. There's momentum too. So use that momentum to move you forward. With that Chariot card, this is about positive, fast moving action and momentum pushing you towards victory. So how can you tune into that momentum to push yourself in a positive direction? That's going to be really great. So with the Chariot card, this is a moment of swift, fast moving energy moving you forward. So how can you do that? How can you put yourself in a positive place, moving yourself forward here? You have the Nine of Swords, which talks about worry and anxiety. So letting go of anxiety is going to be very, very huge for you. Not being afraid to push yourself in a positive direction. And just if anything anxious comes up this week, let yourself be okay. Let yourself feel good about who you are and what's going on. And that's all that you can do, right? Be positive, be in a good spot for yourself, and that's where things are going to move you forward. And if you feel anxious, be present with that. Be present with your emotions, be present with your feelings. Let yourself be in a positive direction. And if things are going to be tricky, then things are tricky, and that's all that you can do. So be in that positive place, let yourself feel okay, and move forward from there. Last up, you have the Knight of Cups. So this is about embracing the momentum towards those emotional things. So if you are going through any kind of emotional challenge this week, be okay with that, be present with yourself through it, and let yourself flow in that positive direction. And sometimes we have to deal with challenging emotions in order to be in a more comfortable place, and that's all that you can do sometimes. So be okay with that. And I know that that's not always easy, but that's where we are, and that's where things are sometimes. So Capricorn, I hope that you have a positive week, and if things are feeling a little bit challenging, just be open to let yourself be in the present moment, and sometimes that's all you can do, right? Okay, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. What can you expect for this week? Well, you've got the Four of Swords. So this is a moment for you to tune into feeling good about yourself, about life, about what's happening. So what can you do with this Four of Swords card? This is about putting yourself in a position of cutting through the challenges. This is about letting yourself rest when you need the rest. That's one of the most important things you can do for yourself. Really give yourself enough sleep, give yourself enough rest, give yourself the feeling and the possibility of sleep, of letting go of pushing too hard. I think it's going to be really, really important for you to make sure that you are sleeping enough, that you're resting enough, that you're taking the time for yourself. The more that you can do that this week, the more important that's going to be. So really open yourself up to that energy, that opportunity to let yourself be in the peaceful places when you need it. Rejuvenate your energy. That's going to be the most important thing. You've got the Two of Cups. So this is about uniting forces with somebody else. Partnerships. It could be romantic, it could be otherwise. So where is somebody else on the same level as you, like-minded? How can you work together to create something positive and powerful? The more that you can do that this week, the better off you're going to be. So open yourself up to that opportunity. Open yourself up to the possibilities of allowing in joys, of allowing in positive things. So there's an opportunity for that this week for my Aquariuses. How can you connect with somebody else who's on your level to bring in something powerful this week? That's going to be really huge. We have the Queen of Wands. So with that Queen of Wands energy, this is about understanding that things are okay, that even in situations in life where you're feeling that there's challenges, just know that you have the opportunities to make anything happen. She's a master manifester. So how can you turn the tides of the situations that you're in and bring in positive change for yourself and for your loved ones and for the world? As much as you can do that this week, this is a moment for that. So bring in peaceful, positive connection with joy and positivity and possibilities. The more that you can do that, the better. So what can you do to manifest in something special and important in your life. This is about connecting to that energy, letting that happen for you. Finally, you have the Seven of Wands. So you're starting to finally overcome the struggle. And that's one of the most important things to keep in mind. If you're feeling like you've been fighting a battle for a long time now, you're finally in a position to start overcoming that. So what would you do if you could overcome your challenges? This is a week of doing that, of letting yourself do that, of letting yourself overcome the things that are really bringing you in that challenging place. Let yourself do that this week. So this is an opening for that for you in this moment. Really open yourself up to that. All right, Pisces, sun, moon, and rising signs. What can my Pisces expect for the week? Well, you've got the Hanged Man. So Pisces, this is a moment where you might be feeling a little bit stuck in certain aspects, but what's important to remember with this card is, first of all, it's self-inflicted. The Hanged Man, he hangs himself upside down to gain spiritual wisdom. So if you feel stuck at all this week, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? There's a lesson here for me. What can I do to let that lesson open myself up to not being so afraid? How can I move myself in a positive direction so that I'm feeling good about where I'm at and what's going on? You've got the Empress card. So with the Empress, this is a great moment for you to make sure that you are feeling good about yourself, about life, about what's happening, and letting in creativity. This is a very powerfully creative moment for you. So how can you let in the creative inspiration and use that to birth something new into this world? There's an opportunity for birth and creation and bringing in a new moment. So what can you do to birth something beautiful and new into your life? That's going to be really, really, really important. So what can you do to birth something positive and new into your experience? Finally, you got two more. You got the Justice card. So this is about receiving positive karma from the past as well. So the positive intentions that you put out into the world, you're going to be receiving really positive rewards and benefits from that. So keep that in mind. There's a real importance of allowing in whatever positive aspects you can for yourself. That's really important. Last up, you have the Four of Swords. So make sure you're getting enough sleep. Make sure you're getting enough rest. Don't push yourself too hard this week. That's going to be really important. So as much as, particularly if you're feeling stuck at any point this week, just embrace it. Let yourself take a step back, learn what you can from it, and then bring in something positive and great into your life. Okay, collective, what do we all need to know? Well, one of the biggest themes for the week is letting things go and bringing new things in. There's a real new beginnings energy, and what's required of us is to let things go at the same time. So if you feel at all like it's time to move on from something, in the chat, we had spring cleaning energy. So if you're ready to spring clean, let things go, really open yourself up to that. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, we have the Six of Pentacles here. With the Six of Pentacles, this is an opportunity to be in reciprocal nature with somebody. This can mean giving help when help is asked, and it's also receiving help when help is needed. So this is about being in a good sense of balance this week. And if you're in an opportunity to help somebody out, really do that. Get out there, give that help. If you want to help, if you want to be helped, if you need help, ask for it. That will be available to you. So that's really important. The Temperance card came up a lot. So there's a really importance of being open-minded to the life and the situation going on around you. If something is not working, if something does not look good, there might be an opportunity for you to change it, to move it, to combine separate things to create something positive and powerful for you. So open yourself up to a positive, powerful opportunity of creation. That's really big. The Ace of Wands, I knew it would come up, new beginnings energy. So you might be feeling a renewed sense of inspiration. Really take that and move forward from it, right? Use that inspiration to push you forward, but don't push too hard because there's burnout energy here. So I think maybe as a collective, we are feeling group overwhelm going on right now. I know I certainly am. So if you're feeling that, use whatever new momentum and new inspiration might be coming to you and push yourself forward from that place. There's a real opportunity for you to do that this week. Let yourself do that. So anyway, collective, that's it from me this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. I apologize for all of our issues going on here, but hopefully I can edit something together in post that will work out and we can post that as the new one. Thank you so much for tuning in. My apologies for the problems, and I will not let that happen in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in. Goodbye.